Hello, welcome back. I'm going to start off with this video with a big boom and big bang. I'm going to tell you, this little device has helped me focus better than my smartphone or any other device in the last year. I've had this for now a year. And I want to preface that this video is not going to be an anti-streaming video. It's not going to be an down with services video. This video is just about how this particular device has helped me focus in my job and decompress and just in general allow me to have those moments of intense distraction-free focus. That's the best way. Distraction-free focus. There is going to be some nostalgia from my part because of being an older millennial, but please don't take that as any type of baiting. I'm not trying to be like, oh, you got to have it. This is why it was such a great device. I'm going to say it's a great device in a sense that in a world where everything is fighting for our attention, this device frees me of that. But I also want to bring up, in another positive note, the overwhelming response on my last video. I honestly did not expect to get that many views and that many comments and all the new subscribers. I am thrilled. I am honestly thrilled. This is the cool, like, I just didn't expect it. Like that video did miles better than any video that I've ever done. And when I previously did YouTube or anything, that was awesome. It's just, I wanted to bring a new perspective and it seems to resonate it. And I'm hoping to bring that into the community that I'm hoping to build. Now, let's talk about this guy and why it matters to me. One of the big things that I love is music, and music matters a huge amount to me. And because my time is limited and because everything is trying to fight for my attention and I feel like I'm a browser with 40 tabs open and everything's just out there, this helps me focus, it helps me decompress, and it helps me to keep my brain from running around in constant loops. Now, what else do we want to talk about with this that everyone hasn't already talked about, right? Everyone's going to tell you that you need to buy it. It's going to be, this dedicated device. It's going to keep you from looking at your smartphone. Wrong. It doesn't. People are still like, the 30-day challenges. I've seen them all. Everyone still ultimately says, hey, I like this guy. It really does that one thing great, which is music playing. But I'm ultimately always I'm kind of falling back into the habits of my smartphone. And that's one thing that I want to emphasize is that I don't use this to quote unquote decrease my smartphone time, because my smartphone is part of my life. I can remember a time when it wasn't a part of my life and there was no such thing as a smartphone. But I can also tell you that because of the way that the world works and the way that jobs work and the ways that everything is just fighting for your attention, your smartphone is not something you could just put aside. There are tools and there are plenty of videos that I've watched where people are taking very strong approaches to killing some of that smartphone dependency, but I'm not saying that it's going to go away. What this does do really well, like I said, is it allows me to have a moment where my brain says, hey, you're pulling out the iPod. We're about to go into true intense focus mode, and we're going to shut down everything around us at this particular moment in time. Well, it does do that. It really does a great job of that. But, like I said, this is an anti-streaming video. So what I'm trying to say is that I still use streaming services pretty extensively. And sometimes, mainly I'm using streaming services for finding new music that will ultimately either go on the iPod or it's going to go on, I'm going to buy the vinyl because I want that music in my physical life. So, and my vinyl collection is something we could talk about later, but it's got to be very special to be on the vinyl side. Just put it that way. But if it's something like I enjoyed and I found on like YouTube Music or Apple Music and I can buy the song one time, then it's going to go on this. Which brings me into my next point, which is how much did you spend? Why did you buy it? And does it do everything that you want it to do? Yeah. It's fairly modern in my opinion. It's still kind of it feels modern, right? But it's really dumb at the same time because it does one thing and that's all. And I kind of love that because like I said, it doesn't do notifications. It doesn't try to, it doesn't like my smartphone sits on my desk and it's like, hey, I'm here. Check social media. Hey, check email. Check this, check this. This just says, hey, I'm here if you want to listen to music. If you don't want to, I'll just stay over here and my battery will last forever and yada, yada. But that's the other part. The part is, like you have to understand that this device is just an extension. It's just what your smartphone is, just taking a part of your smartphone out. Now, speaking of taking a part of your smartphone out, and what is this going to cost you? Well, this particular model is the 5.5, the iPod video as they call it. This is the one that does have the Wilson DAC. You're going to hear a lot about the Wilson DAC if you watch other YouTube videos with the iPod Classic. Like I built the iPod Classic and this thing, or the iPod, I built out the iPod, and everyone talks about the Wilson DAC. Yes, it has a warmer DAC. I have an iPod Touch that has the Cirrus Logic DAC, and it's a little bit brighter. It doesn't sound as good as this one, but I wouldn't say it was an unpleasant listening experience. The big thing that's going to come down to is what headphones you're going to pair with it. Now, you can do the Bluetooth module thing. You can go and spend all the money on, all the fancy upgrades that they're now selling online. But in my opinion, if you pair yourself with a good set of headphones, like these CSTs that I got on Amazon, they were recommended. I think they're from like Linsol. They are good. They're $17 and they sound fantastic. I've got another pair from Critical that I picked up that are also in IEMs that were like $12 or $15 or $20. It's something really, really inexpensive, and they sound phenomenal. And I've got a lot of people at work that I've actually told them, hey, buy these. And I see them all the time at the office because the people that I work with are software developers, and I'm leading that team. And so most of the time we don't want to be distracted when we're in the middle of a coding session. And so a lot of them will put the in-ear and, IEMs in and go. They're not necessarily using iPods, but they use those headphones quite extensively. Or if you don't want to spend, if you're looking for like an over-ear headphone, I can recommend the Sennheiser HD559s. They're a semi-open back headphone. They sound great. And I've got some other recommendations. So if you want to see my recommendations, you can check out my shorts, or if you have any questions about some of the other headphones that I may have not reviewed and my opinion on them, ask me down in the comments. But I plan on starting to review more headphones in the future. But the big thing that I want to end with on this is that this iPod, like I said, didn't come as it's not a cheap item. All right. Right now they're kind of a hot commodity. They kind of have been a hot commodity. I kind of got mine at a good time, but my build with the 128 gig SSD and the regular battery and the colorful, changing the faceplate, I've got about $150 in this. If you're trying to look for the Wilson DAC, I'm seeing those now selling for like between $100 and $120 on eBay. That's the big thing you got to be careful of, that these things can start to kind of cost you, and they add up as you do more to them. And there's also people on eBay who are selling fully customized iPods. You can just buy out of the gate. But again, it's got to be a conscious decision on your part. You've got to think about how important music is to you. If you're looking for some way to focus, like I can't emphasize more than that this device, because of its one trick pony, it's just a music player. It literally makes my brain go, hey, putting on the headphones, we're using the iPod, it's time to focus. And that's the best thing I can say about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't. There's going to be some more videos coming up in the future that I'm very excited about. Like my home lab is about to be somewhat semi-ready for presenting. You can see my Core 1 behind me, my Prusa Core 1. I've got my Linux iMac over here that I've been working on that's running Cinema Mint. I've got lots of cool things coming up that I've been working on in between, and I've had some time off, but I'm really hoping to share with you guys. And I've also got some more retro gaming tech that I can't wait to talk about, and I just enjoy all this video stuff, and it's been real much, like I said, I can't express how awesome it has been to see the response on my last video, and I just thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.